João Martinho Moye, founder of the Congregations of the Sisters of Providence. João Martinho Moye was born in 1730 on January the 27th. He grew up in a pious family. His mother taught him that a good father should live poorly and love the poor people. Since he was a little boy, she liked to teach about God's love to the friends. At the age of 17, he joined the Jesuit university to study theology and philosophy. On March the 9th, 1754, at the age of 24, João Martinho was ordained priest. In the Church of San Vito in Metz, he cares and worries so much about the poor. He gradually realized that the children were not receiving basic education, especially girls, and began to think about on his project of sending girls to teach children, especially girls, who were left out in the society and in the church too. Sometime later, he met Marguerite Lecomte, a young seamstress whom he accompanied in a spiritual direction. He shared with her his dream, which she welcomed and loved as it was hers. In early January 1762, he requested permission from the bishop to realize his project of sending some girls to open small schools in the region of Metz. On January the 14th, 1762, after preparing and initiating some girls with simple methods of teaching and also about some spirituality of Providence, João Martinho sent Marguerite Lecomte to open the first school. Before sending her, he asked if she wanted some money, but she chose to go with nothing, trusting herself entirely to divine providence. Marguerite arrived in St. Hubert in the afternoon of January the 14th, 1762. No one in the village had a decent place to offer for her to stay, so she spent her first night there in a house of a very poor and large family. She could not sleep that night. She spent the whole night in prayer with courage and hope, knowing that the providence would not abandon her. Next morning, Marguerite found an abandoned stable so poorly maintained that even animals couldn't live there. Later, other young girls were sent to Vigie and Bessie and to other villages around Metz. It was there that Marguerite had styled her first home and the first school. The news shocked the authorities. Priest Moye was forbidden to open new schools. João Martinho knelt at the feet of Our Lady Help of Christians, renewing his submission and putting his project of the schools in her hands and the hands of her son. He gave everything in the hands of Providence. João Martinho suffered very much, but submitted himself immediately. Before the end of 1762, he received permission for other new schools could be opened again. In 1765, João Martinho was sent to Dius, where he continued his project, now in the region of Lorraine. Many young girls wanted to follow the path traced by João Martinho Moye. On December 30, 1771, he went by ship to China. His life there was full of difficulties, persecutions, and arrests, but he continued his missionary work with great love and a deep faith, always following and living with the suffering and poverty of local people. João Martinho was a prisoner because of his faith during his stay in China. He came to think that he would have the honor of martyrdom In August 1784, he arrived in France. From there, he dedicated to the spiritual renewal of the congregation, studying the spirituality of providence and the four fundamental virtues that should be part of the life of the sisters. He spent 11 years there, and after so much time of difficulties and persecution, he became seriously ill. In 1789, many changes have happened in France. It was the beginning of the French Revolution. Furthermore, Moye agreed to live in Treves and house of some priests, your friends. There, he will continue to preach the word of God, practicing charity and taking care of the soldiers and civilians wounded in the war or affected by typhus, which was killing many people. At the end of April, he was also affected by this serious illness. Before dying, he gives his final blessing to the sisters. Grow up and multiply yourselves, if this is the will of God. At 4 o'clock in the morning of May the 14th, 1793, he finally surrendered to God. João Martinho Moye was beatified on November the 21 in 1954. Here's Project João Martinho Moye. Among the many possibilities that he had, his heart was drawn for the care of children and young people. He wanted that women helped him to realize his project of educating children and young people. He was a very bold person for his time. He defined some criteria that would be the brand of those women sisters.